Hello, myself Mayankar. I am from GGF Reformation Marriott Bhopal. Today we are at the healthcare center for Marriott Bhopal, and we are with the physician, general physician here. Sir, good evening, sir. I just wanted to know about drug addiction. So, firstly, just tell me what is drug addiction and how it can be diagnosed.
See, drug addiction or substance dependence is a compulsive need to use drugs, okay, in order to function normally. When such substances are not obtainable easily, the individual who is a chronic user undergoes withdrawal. Okay. When an individual persists in the use of, say, alcohol or any other drug, despite being aware of the side effects, despite being aware of the consequences the drug might have, okay, then we can diagnose it and we call it substance dependence. So this is the diagnosis basically, and it is a compulsive and repetitive use of the same substance may lead to tolerance. Now, tolerance is a phenomenon in which, let's take for example, today suppose you are using a drug, suppose you are abusing sleeping pills. Today the dose required to produce that effect will be 2.5 mg. If you keep on using them for say 10 days, 20 days, in 1 month, after 1 month you will find that you will have to increase the dose to 5 mg to get the same effect. The same thing applies for alcohol also. Today somebody may be taking 60 ml, 120 ml. 60 ml means 1 peg in the language of drinkers. So today they might take 2 pegs. Slowly they'll have to increase it to 4 pegs. That is when they'll get the effect. So this is known as tolerance. And if they discontinue it suddenly, they'll undergo the symptoms. They'll have symptoms of withdrawal. They'll feel lightheaded, they'll feel irritable, they won't they won't be able to do anything at all.
So, why drug addiction in adolescents? Means what factors are the vulnerable causes? Why they get addicted to it? What drives them?
So what you mean to ask is, why are adolescents more susceptible to drug addiction?
Yes.
Because all these years, research has shown that brain development continues through adolescence into early adulthood. If you could please bring the camera here, I have a very nice slide which will see this slide over here. This shows magnetic resonance imaging scans, and it allows us to map the maturation of the brain. This is a brain of a 5-year-old, this is a brain of a 20-year-old. The slide here, it illustrates brain development through early adulthood, with blue indicating the mature state. Okay, the blue part. The prefrontal cortex, it governs judgment and decision making functions, and it is the last part of the brain to develop. So it is underdeveloped in children, the prefrontal cortex, and slowly as the individual ages, this matures, and this governs the decision making functions of the brain, right? So that is why teens, adolescents, they are at more risk to drugs, to addiction. They'll drive vehicles fast also because they are not mature, and that is why they don't know the difference between good and bad. So they are at more susceptible to this.
So, my last question is, why do some people get addicted to it, while others do not? Means, why do they get addicted to it at the first place?
Okay. See, vulnerability to drugs is a product of interaction of a person's genes. It has something to do with genetics, environment, developmental age. Obviously, it has something to do. Adolescents are more susceptible, like we just said. And apart from this, social conditions, poverty, accessibility to drugs. If you have drugs which, I mean, if they are very easily accessible, so you will be more susceptible to drugs. So these are some factors which play a very important role in drug addiction. Okay. What can we do about this is something which should concern us, and how can it affect an individual in the long term, and why do people take drugs in the first place? Okay, so some issues might be somebody must be depressed, somebody must be having some terminal illness, pain for example, so they start taking drugs like morphine. These drugs have a very high potential for addiction. Narcotics, I mean morphine is another thing. Stressful life. So people, what they do is, instead of taking care of the stress, they think it's better to take drugs and run away from the stressful situation. That is not an answer. Loss, death in the family, social isolation, people don't have friends, they become depressed, right? So they tend to take drugs.
Basically just to avoid the pain and
basically to avoid any situation which they don't like. And abundance of free time. This applies in case of older people. Say 60-year-old people, retired people, they don't have anything to do, so why not just take alcohol, enjoy life? That is the thing. Okay.
How can it be cured?
How can it be cured? That is a very good question. See, treating this is a behavioral disorder, and it requires multiple approaches. Obviously, we have drugs today, pharmacotherapy, drugs to cure addiction. We have drugs for alcohol to stop addiction. We have drugs to stop the effects of other drugs, counteract the effects so that the patient does not undergo withdrawal. Okay, we have drugs for that. We have behavioral therapies. We have a psychotherapist. We have a counselor here at the National Institute of Technology, Bhopal. So that if by chance students are going and having this problem, then they can take her help. She comes here. Then there are medical and social services. Hospitals have de-addiction centers to help patients cope with such situations.
So sir,
This
while
is
you
how.
are countering the drug effect, okay, you are using other drugs. So sir, while you are using other drugs, they can get addicted to those drugs.
Good question there. Those drugs have a very less potential of addiction. Some drugs have. Now let me explain it in a little detail. The brain, our brain has a rewarding circuit. Okay. In the rewarding circuit, dopamine, a neurotransmitter, is secreted. Okay. When we are doing some activities like eating food, listening to music, say going for picnic, such pleasurable activities, they cause release of dopamine into the reward circuit of the brain. Okay? Dopamine is secreted. Not much amount, less amounts. When dopamine is secreted, we feel good. Okay? And an individual feel good. Now such substances like alcohol, cigarettes, smoking, drugs, IV drugs, what they do is they increase dopamine secretion to 10 folds. Okay, so there's so much dopamine. Now what happens is, when an individual since these substances cause so much dopamine secretion, they feel very good, they feel rewarded, as if they have done something very good. They have climbed Mount Everest, they have reached the moon. Okay, they get such feelings. That is not true. And what happens is, now they slowly start losing interest in other activities which earlier were pleasurable, like eating food, going out with friends. People may start losing interest in work. Instead, what they choose is, it's better to take drugs, and they feel rewarded. They feel good about it. So that is the thing. People start losing interest in daily activities. It's just because dopamine is playing a role here. So that, in short, my friend, is everything.
So thank you so much for your time, sir.
Most welcome.
It was a pleasure talking to you about that.
Same here.